Good afternoon in the back. So we've had a fun-filled morning and afternoon. So I have the pleasure of introducing our afternoon keynote speaker, Dr. Paul Morehouse. Dr. Paul has been performing music professionally since 1963, composing music since 1970, and teaching music since 1979. He received his Bachelor of Arts in Music Education, his Master of Arts in Education, and his California Teacher's Credential from California State University, Los Angeles. He received his doctoral degree from Claremont Graduate University in 2012. Since 2003, he has presented multiple times at state conferences for the California Association of the Education of Young Children, and in 2008 facilitated a roundtable discussion on interdisciplinary arts education for the California Council on Teacher Education. He was invited to present his workshop on music and whole language at the 1992 California Music Educators Association Midwinter Conference in Los Angeles. From 1999 to 2011, he worked as a child development music specialist for Child Development Consortia of Los Angeles, serving over 300 young children between the ages of 5 months and 5 years on a weekly basis. Music Paul, as the kids call him, was adjunct professor of music education for the music department of Cal State University, Los Angeles, teaching state-required credential courses in music education for education and child development majors. Paul composed the music for children's theater at Hunter College in New York City. Paul is currently designing and producing an interdisciplinary music language early learning program for children ages 3 through 6 years old entitled Dog, Cat, Mouse, Rat, Making Music. The music you heard as you entered into the recital hall this afternoon was actually composed by Dr. Morehouse. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Paul Morehouse.
Thank you very much. I did a lot of music before I started early childhood, and when I started early childhood, things shifted pretty dramatically, because I kind of thought I knew what there was to know about music, but then I started working with infants, toddlers, younger preschools, older preschools, etc., and it was like, wow. I began to get a new perspective of music within, the human experience as through the eyes of the young children. But anyway, I've prepared a more formal beginning, so I want to make sure I do that. So the formal beginning that I've prepared goes like this. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
Very good.
I hope your day is going great. And I'm really glad that you could stay to hear what I say. Okay, so the message is adequate, but maybe not that profound. But this morning, Dr. Weston was talking a lot about the cognitive processing that goes on. And so just now, or even as I'm speaking, there's cognitive processing going on by all of us. And certainly, as you're looking at me, there's visual processing, and who knows, there might be some memory things. Maybe if I say something that makes you think of something that you learned earlier today, or maybe I remind you of someone else and stuff like that. Okay, however, this is about music, so let me bring your attention to the auditory processing that's going on, even as I speak. So with my little opening, okay, there's really 4 components that you start processing simultaneously in my little introduction there. All right? Do you know what those 4 components are? Anybody want to shout out if they think they know one of them?
Rhythm.
Rhythm. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Music guy.
Beat.
Okay. Okay. I hear rhyme.
Beat.
Okay.
Beat.
B. Okay. Cadence. Okay. Wow. These are very good terms, and all relate to processing sound. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm going to. I have a helper here that's going to. There's my helper. Okay. Okay. Now I love the way some of you started doing call and response. There must be people from my workshop this morning because we were doing call and response. But I don't mind. I'll perform this on my own. Okay. You can just continue with your auditory processing. Okay. And here's my message again. It goes like this. Good afternoon. How you doing today? I hope your day is going great. And I'm really glad that you could stay to hear what I say. And I'm really glad that you could stay to hear what I say. Okay, so my message to you the second time was the exact same message, but of course, suddenly it had a little more energy, right?
Yeah.
The energy from a musical instrument. All right. So anyway, again, I could have fun getting you to give me these 4 components, and the terms that were being thrown out were excellent and very much related. But I'm going to break it down to the 4 simple elements that's happening in a little performance like that, and certainly sound is a big one, and certainly rhythm, right? Even without the drum, there was sound, there was rhythm in my voice, in the words, right? Right? And of course, in the words, there's meaning. You understood. Good afternoon. How you doing today? So there's certainly meaning derived from the words. And structure. Okay? And when I heard someone say cadence, okay, that's cadence and pattern. I don't know if I heard anybody say pattern, but pattern is certainly related to structure. Okay, so now, of those 4 elements, sound, rhythm, meaning, and structure, one is a little more enigmatic, a little more mysterious than the other 3, even though they all are quite unique and very important. But, I don't know, anybody want to, of the 4, sound, rhythm, meaning, and structure, you want to?
Structure.
All right, very good. Structure is, it's a real conundrum. It's like the air we breathe because it's invisible but essential. And I'll show you why I give it this kind of mystique around structures. Raise your hand if you have a favorite song. Most people have a favorite song, or at least maybe several favorite songs, or some favorite music. So of the people who raise their hand, like, yeah, I got a favorite song, if I ask them, why is it your favorite song? They might say, oh, it's a beautiful melody. I love the melody. Or they might say, especially if they like to dance, say, yeah, I like the rhythm. All right? Could be the artist, the person singing or the group, okay? But, now I'm making a presumption, so I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that they would not say to me, oh, I love the structure of that song. And probably you've never had anybody ever say to you, wow, did you hear that? I just heard a new release from so-and-so. I mean, God, that's a great structure. Okay, so, yeah, structure is a little mysterious because it's got to be there. Whatever your favorite song is, it would not be your favorite song without that structure. Okay, it's put together a certain way, and then, of course, we're talking patterns. We know there's lots of patterns in music. So, what I want to talk about today is something that I discovered when I say things shifted for me when I got into early childhood, is that I was not aware how tuned in and how acutely aware young children are of musical structures, particularly songs, because they probably, not to say that they don't hear other music, but probably the most music they hear at home and certainly in their program is probably song-based, trying to, bring you into what I'm talking about. Okay. So again, all right, they may, and when they do that, some 2-year-olds are starting to, their wonderful brain processing. If they hear the pitches, they may produce those pitches, twinkle, twinkle, little, there's certain intervals there that have to be sung to get the melody correct, and some 3-year-olds can do that. But you know what? It really doesn't matter, and certainly doesn't matter to the 3-year-old who wants to do that song and join in and go twinkle, twinkle, da da, how do water, whatever they're saying, they're in it, right? With all the enthusiasm, the smile is big. It's not like, I think I got this almost right, okay, but not quite right. No, to them, that's their rendition of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and they do it with all the love and enthusiasm that adults might bring to a song that they want to sing, okay? So again, it's the pattern, the structure that they get right. I mean, they're on it. They don't go twinkle, twinkle, little star. No, they're not all over the place. They got it. Okay? Okay. Now, of course, they hear a song like that a lot. Well, for the research I did, I came up with original songs. So I know I was the source. I was the person they were learning the song from. They weren't going to hear it on a CD in the car on the way to school or anything. And for example, I'll just give you a quick rendition of one of the songs I wrote for my research. It's kind of a cute song. I love it. It's called Happy Circus Clown. And it goes, Happy Circus Clown came to town. Happy Circus Clown came to town. And then we repeat that. And then we go, with a hip, hop, flip, flop, hip, hop, bop. With a hip, hop, flip, flop, shoo, bebop. Just like that, okay? All right, well, let me tell you. I've done that with groups of 3, 4s, and 5s, and some of the 2-year-olds that were with me. And I'm not saying across the board, because I wasn't trying to see who's going to do it accurately. I was just, observing to see. But it was just pretty impressive because they never heard that before, and yet they got it. I mean, almost immediately, and if not immediately, then I'll say, hey, you want to do it again? Yeah, let's do it again. With a hip, hop, flip, flop, shoo, bebop, and then they got it. Okay, so they absorb these patterns amazingly fast, okay? Now, there's another approach to the child's engagement with musical structures, which I'm going to demonstrate, okay? People who were with me this morning know what's coming, so you could all be up on stage with me right now if you were in my works. I told them that, when you attending college, there's often lecture and then lab that go together. And so this is the lecture part, but we did the lab this morning, so we had a lot of fun with some songs. So anyway, I've chosen a song that I think everybody's familiar with. A traditional children's folk tune called Skip to My Loo. Okay? And this is a good song. I've been doing it for many, many years, and I still enjoy it. And it's not really about skipping. I'm a music guy. I don't do. We do a little bit of free dancing, but I don't do a lot of movement. So it wasn't about let's learn how to skip. It was just singing a song. Anyway, I'm going to play my saxophone, and then I'm going to play my guitar, and then I'm going to come back to my drum. And I'm doing this because the child's sensitivity to those structural elements are what is behind what I call music-making behavior. And when I say music, I mean real music. The fact that they can recognize, understand, and follow musical structures makes their music-making experience very real, okay? And it also very much aligns with your own musical skills in the way you enjoy music. And I'm not talking about who took music lessons or studied music. Being a human being is about being a musical being. Okay, we respond to music very naturally. In fact, I know some people who never took a music lesson in their life who know some songs that I can't sing, you know, and do some musical things that I go, wow, hey, you know, please share that with me. So anyway, let me do my demonstration, and I'm doing this for, well, tell you what, let me get to my music, and then we'll talk about it. So, this is a tenor saxophone, and I've played this for many years, and I always enjoyed playing it. So it's my honor and privilege to perform for you, Skip to My Darling. Okay, thank you very much. I enjoy playing my saxophone. I like to have an audience, so I appreciate you putting up with that. All right, so that's a form of music-making behavior, right? I've spent a lot of time, you know, playing scales and lots of things on my saxophone so that I could become proficient and play a song like that. Anyway, that's one way of, that one form of music-making behavior. So now let's shift and look at another form. I didn't play guitar until I started working in the classroom. Although the kids love the saxophone, I still bring it, you know, to the groups I work with, kind of like a show and tell, because it's, you know, it's pretty amazing. But I use the guitar a lot more often. Okay. So, now, how many know the song Skip to My Darling? Okay. So, there's a part that goes like this. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip to my loo, my darling. Okay, could you help me? Everybody join in and sing? Here we go. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip to my loo, my darling. Okay, now my turn, listen. I lost my partner, what'll I do? I lost my partner, what'll I do? I lost my partner, what'll I do? Skip to my loo, my darling. Please help me, here we go. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip to my loo, my darling. And of course, there's many more verses. My favorite one being, fly in the buttermilk, shoot, fly, shoot. Okay, so, well, I just engaged in a little more music-making behavior. And, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about it in a second, but let me keep going. So now I'm going to put the guitar down. And go back to my drum. All right, so we're going to do the same song. And I would tell you what, now, people in the front row, don't feel too much pressure, but yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 instruments. I have some pairs of maracas, a tambourine, a drum, what's called an agogo. All right, you don't have to be in the first row, but I was wondering if anybody in the first row would want to, because this is only for demonstration purposes. You can just stand on the floor. All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Okay. Okay, we need to. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. You know, the wooden thing with 2 or 3, yeah, that's kind of a derivative instrument, because in Brazil they have what's called an agogo, and they're metal. There's usually 2 or 3, and so you guys got like a wooden version. Yeah. Okay, wooden agogos. All right, and the other instruments are kind of familiar. All right, so when I play my drum, I want you to help me, and let's sing like this. Everybody like this. Skip, 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 to my loo. Skip, 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 to my loo. Skip, 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 to my loo. Skip to my loo, my darling. And you know what? Sometimes it can actually even go a little bit faster. You want to help me like this? Here we go. Listen. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip to my loo, my darling. Okay, now your instruments are waiting. Listen. Fly in the buttermilk, shoo, fly, shoo. Fly in the buttermilk, shoo, fly, shoo. Fly in the buttermilk, shoo, fly, shoo. Skip to my loo, my darling. Here we go. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip, skip, skip to my loo. Skip to my loo, my darling. Oop, and all the sound stops, but you know what? At the end, I like a long sound. Take the maracas, hit that drum. Keep it going. It's a long sound. Ready and... Now, by the way, I made reference to an original song. All right? So, I think you heard me do it once or twice. All right? It goes like this. Happy circus clown came to town. Happy circus clown came to town. And then he sang a song. I want you to help me. Ready? Go. With a hip, hop, flip, hop, hip, hop, bop. With a hip, hop, flip, hop, shoo. Beep, bop. Hey now. All right, orchestra, thank you very much. I told you it was going to be short and painless. Thank you. On the way out, I know I'm going to be hearing, because, you know, sometimes you just can't get little catchy phrases out of your head. Okay. So, what I would really like to leave you with today is the idea that you are as much of a musical being as the children in your groups, okay? And their music-making behavior is not about music education. Now, I'm a music educator, and I'm not anti-music education. But in early childhood, experiences that the last group helped demonstrate is where the children are in their immediate ability to do it. Okay? And the developmental aspects that are going on, of course, we've heard a lot even from this morning. I had wished I had walked in with a notepad because I would have been scribbling notes when Dr. Weston was speaking. He touched a lot on the arts in general, and so this is just a very narrow slice of that. It's a very specific activity that the kids love and provide a lot of enrichment and not only cognitive development, but social, emotional. For example, you notice in my demonstration with the saxophone, there I was, right? I'm the music specialist. I'm the performer. And I'm sure you're very familiar with that kind of an approach, right? Like someone, unless you're a professional, any professional musicians in the house? Okay. Because, well, even non-professional musicians, but people who perform music will, you know, do their thing and appreciate when the audience is listening. All right. The rest of, if you're not a music performer, then typically you're enjoying that music-making behavior by being a member of the audience, a consumer, I would say. All right. So it's very familiar, and if children were here and I played my saxophone, as I told you I do that, it's not without value. All right. They very much enjoy my little show and tells with the tenor saxophone, but it's limited. It's limited in terms of what they're going to derive from that experience. So then I picked up my guitar, and it wasn't quite as focused on me. I was still the music leader, right? And I was appreciative with all of you joining in, and we were sharing. It was like community singing. Right? Kind of got the rhythm going and picked the song, and you joined in. We were singing together, and that's heading in the right direction. But that's still not the game of music that the children really enjoy playing. So once we bring in the instruments, the instruments are like game pieces, okay? And they need a music leader. This is not about having instruments out for exploring, for giving like having a music center, which again are valuable experiences for the children. But music does have structure, there are patterns. And that's where this concept from Vygotsky that we learn about in ECE 101, the concept he came up with about the zone of proximal development, right? It's guiding the children where they can go as long as they're scaffolded, right? As long as they're supported. Okay, like this group of adults who had never got together before, to play music, did a great job, right? I took the role of music leader, and we performed our song, even with a song that they had never heard until a few minutes ago. So when the children are so ready to engage in that kind of activity, they're simply looking for someone to lead them. And I used the drum in the beginning for my little good afternoon and for this last example because, again, not that all of you have to, run out of here and purchase a drum or become the resident drummer at your site, but it is, in fact, of course, as music leader, I have used other instruments too, maracas, tambourine, whatever. But the idea is that the structure, okay? In a song like Skip to My Lou, there's a verse that says, fly in the buttermilk, shoot, fly, shoot, and whatnot. And there's another part that is the chorus, skip, skip, skip to my Lou. And the kids can appreciate those two musical concepts very readily and very thoroughly. In my workshop this morning, I did I had a handout that offered language that is conducive for the game of music, which is about helping. Kids very young understand about helping. So it's not about performing. It's like if I want to do a song, I want you to help me. And sometimes when you're helping me, sometimes the instruments are waiting. Just like everybody waited as I sang about the fly in the buttermilk. And then, when I directed them to join me, I said, I asked them to play when I was hitting my drum. Okay, there's so much material. This morning we went over a lot of illustrated children's books that present these same ideas, like brown bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. And to look at that as a piece of music, you can use a drum. Brown bear, what do you see? I see a red, sorry. See, I get carried away. Okay, so I'm gonna ask the question and play my instrument. Brown bear, what do you see? And then
Red
well, it just so happens the next one is a red bird. All right. So the game of music is not confined to specific pieces. It's very flexible. It's about the music leader. I've been singing and playing all day. It's just about the music leader conceptualizing the structure and being willing to put on that hat, saying, yes, I can do this. I can ask the children to wait, and I can ask them to play. And as they're going, again, it's an authentic music experience in the sense that they're making sound, rhythm, and helping to create the structure just by stopping and waiting sometimes and then playing. Not to mention rhythm patterns such as hip hop, flip flop, shoo bee bop. Okay. We also did a poem. We took a poem this morning. And again, there's a little bit of a process there, but you can take poetry and pull out lines and do part of it with the instruments and other parts just vocally. So again, I'm hoping that what I'm saying can connect with what you were listening to this morning from Dr. Wesson. The cognitive development is important, of course. The learning and development is what education is about. But I have to say that my main motivation is not. I was very impressed with all the theories and the research on cognitive development. But the child is not just about the cognitive development. They're living, right? They're experiencing their world, their life. When they're with you, you're their leader in many ways other than a music leader, but because they're musical and because they respond so enthusiastically, and you might even say passionately, all right, I just have come to believe that as much as many other aspects of their education and development, that they deserve to celebrate their life through music in these, what I think are very simple ways. And whereas most of you probably, unless you, I do give saxophone lessons, but if you wanted to sign up for saxophone lessons, I could teach you how to play saxophone, but I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of callers on that, all right? It's going to take a while, all right? The guitar, much quicker, but there's still a learning curve, okay? However, an instrument like this, if you were so inclined, maybe the word is inspired, right? If I can inspire you, like Monday, you could do Skip to My Lou with your kids, right? Or a lot of other songs, that you enjoy, that they know. And you don't need the CDs, you know. It's getting away from the technology. It's very organic. It's very traditional. Okay? So that is my message. I guess I want to close. I know this morning Dr. Wesley was talking about science, technology, engineering, and math. And so STEM education is getting a lot of attention. And some people are saying, well, STEM is not the final answer, it's STEAM. Let's keep the arts in the curriculum, right? Which I feel strong about myself. All right, I like the word STEAM, but it's not what I would have come up with, because science, technology, engineering, and math are very unique, you know, human behaviors in and of themselves, right? And, you know, the children understand that. They're scientists. You know, science is about discovery, right? Technology is tools. Engineering is making things. And math is what? Classifying and counting patterns, okay? So I believe the arts, I would come up with more of a fraction, STEM over A, because I'm not pulling the arts out of that, but I think that the arts, including music and the visual, I want to speak on behalf of movement and visual. I know Dr. Wesley was talking about the great, you know, the advantages of engaging the children in visual creativity. So, you know, all the arts, including music, facilitate the discovering. I mean, there's so much to discover about sound and rhythm and yourself and the people you're with. So there's science. There's certainly technology, because this is a tool. This is technology, by the way, right? This is old technology, right? Many thousands of years old, but, you know, it's a tool. This is a music-making tool. So there's technology. Engineering, we created a design and sound a few minutes ago with our voices, with various instruments, okay? And math is just, music and math go together. I mean, it's just inherent. And it's not about counting. It's the patterns. So think about STEM over A. The arts can facilitate all of these wonderful areas that we all enjoy learning about. It's just that they shouldn't be separated and extracted, okay? So I didn't look at, oh, hey, my watch says 4 o'clock. And I'm going to end on time, okay? Because I said what I was saying. So thank you very, very much. I want to thank all the members of Sacramento County Office of Education for facilitating such a wonderful day of learning and enrichment for all of us. And I've got some friends out there, and I look to see you in the classroom so we can continue jamming a little bit. Thank you.